Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening. Listen, we got a jam-packed lesson for us. Element 18 is just packed with some great knowledge, some great tips for our long-term benefits, right? I'm Stanley Taylor. I refer to myself, if you saw any of my reels or my live, I say I'm the neighborhood coach. Okay, I'm the neighborhood health coach. Stan Taylor's in the building. Nice to see everybody. I've been on program as a client since January. My coach is Sylvia. She has done a great job getting me to where I'm at today. In fact, I'm happy I get to do this because I can kind of share what my goal or my accomplishment. But listen, started the program at 288, high blood pressure, cholesterol's high, dealing with depression, not feeling good about myself, really just not comfortable in my own skin, had a terrible relationship with food. I saw Sylvia online posting and I'm like, man, okay, because I have a picture of me and Sylvia. We should do it before and after together, Sylvia. We got to do that. But I said I wanted to know what she was doing. And she sat down with me, did a health assessment, and I said, I'll try it for 1 month. I haven't looked back since then. That was back in January. I stand before you today. Remember, I said I was at 288. My heaviest was 293. Today, I am 196.5 pounds. 96 pounds lost. And I feel great. I feel great. No pain in my knees and so much more. So I said, man, I was getting compliments. And I know people could really benefit from this program. So I decided to become a health coach to help pay it forward, basically. Let me share with others what's worked for me, what has me feeling so good. And I'll say looking good. We look good, don't we? Yes, we do. Everybody on the screen looks good, whether I say your name or your picture. Anyway, that's my story. I'll give you more if you want more. Reach out to me later. Let's get into element 18 because it's jam packed and I'm gonna need y'all help with this one because it's just too much for me to cover. Exercise is a gift to yourself. Have you ever looked at exercise like that as a gift to yourself? Or is it like, oh man, I gotta exercise? Well, of course, we don't want to say what we have to do or what we got to do, but we should say, I get to. But we want to have the right attitude. But this element is so cool because it explains to us how exercise is going to really aid into that optimizing our health, really aid us in maintaining our weight. So 30 minutes a day equals a lifetime of health. Always remember that. Dr. A says that 30 minutes a day. So we need to be active every day. So we're going to talk about the EAT system, the exercise activity thermogenesis, the EAT system that Dr. A has put together for us. You got to check it out. You have three things that this goal accomplishes. The core goals: increasing energy expenditure to create a consistent balance between energy in and energy out. So what we're putting in and what we're giving out. Second goal, optimizing cardiovascular health so that your heart, lungs, and body vessels can deliver enough oxygen to keep your cell functioning properly, especially your brain. Building a strong, healthy support system. This is the third goal, of bones and muscles to help you stay active, keep fit, and maintain a healthy weight. Isn't that what has us here? That's why we trusted this program, because not only is it going to get us to a healthy weight, but it's going to teach us how to maintain that healthy weight, right? And then what I like about this, it's really about what you choose to do. But Dr. A has gone beyond that. He didn't say, well, you figure out your own exercises. He gives us some tips and tricks of different things that we can do, things that we like to do, things that we should do, and see how we can incorporate these into our lives. There's 3 levels to this, you all, 3 levels. First level, walking and fitness program, resistance program, and then the boosting your workouts. That goes into our high intensity interval training. So, and these are all progressive. So when you jump into these, like, you don't want to get out there and just start trying to go run a marathon. If you just use that as an example, right? You never ran before. You want to get out there and go try to run 26.2 miles. I think you might be out your mind. You don't want to do that. Take it easy. Listen to your body. You got to think about your body. Things are progressive with this program. Okay. So take your time. if we look on page 356, this is some important information we need to know. So we need to know what our maximum heart rate should be. Maximum heart rate, MHR. So we have a nice, what do I want to call it? A math problem that can help us with that. And basically it's 220 minus your age equals what your maximum heart rate is going to give you a range, because you don't stop there. So you do that, you should get a number. So mine was 180. So that's my maximum heart rate is 180. So you multiply that because you want to know what you're starting and what starting low and starting high is. So you see the example there, 0.5, right? You're going to do 0.5. 170.5 is the example there. Or you could say 50%, whatever however you like to do math, do it how you like to do it. So you know these numbers. So that's the range between this number and this number is where my heart rate, I want my heart rate to kind of be at. Okay. So great tip there. Make sure you're looking at that as you progress and begin to feel more comfortable. Then you aim towards 65 or 75%. And eventually you try to get to 85% of your optimal fitness. So you want to know what that is before you start. Stretch it out. Don't underestimate the value of stretching. Stretching is important for the body. Stretching is important for the body. I used to have this thing in my mind, like, man, I had to spend about 10 minutes stretching and then about 45, 50 minutes of working out. I don't have time for that. To see that, this right here simplifies all that. You can build up to that, but in just 30 minutes, you'll be fine. And then cool down, definitely cool down, because it benefits the body. And we'll get into that again later. So we're getting into the EAT program. On page 358, I'm not going to go through all of this because it's a lot of information. One thing I want to encourage you to do is please make sure that you are also using this book too. Use the Habits of Health book because they work together. They work together, okay? So creating a success with the EAT walking program. So that's where we start off. You want to start off when it's time for you to start getting active, because we're going to want to be active every day. We're going to start with the EAT walking program. Okay. Beautiful point here. Where should you walk? So in the Habits of Health book, it tells basically just be in a safe environment for one where you're safe, not busy roads. If you can, you see that next question on 358, it says, what is forest bathing? So that's in the Habits of Health book, but so basically, I'm going to say just walk outside, be in nature. If you can get to a forest, go walk in the forest, enjoy creation. Enjoy creation. All right. But go through that, fill those things out for yourself. And but now another important thing is shoes. The shoes. Now, sometimes we're talking about your health here, right? This is all an investment. So don't go buy some cheap shoes, okay? Please. What I'm going to suggest that you do, because you want comfort, you want to make sure you have support, you want to make sure your shoes is absorbing, the pressure and giving you the right stability. If you can go to like a store called Roadrunner. So I usually go there when I want to go buy running shoes. Go to Roadrunner, go to the New Balance store, go to a store where there's professionals who can match you with the right kind of shoes, okay? You get on this little treadmill, they're recording you and all that. It's pretty cool. Check it out. All right, so walking is the first thing. That's the first thing we're going to start with. Real simple. Warm up for 5 minutes at 1 mile per hour. Most of us have little fitness tracker. If you don't have one, get you a pedometer or something. Apple Watch. I'm just an Apple fan, so I just like all that coordination, right? I don't wear Adidas and Nike pants. So don't do that. Don't cross contaminate like that. All right. And then at pace, you're going to do 10 minutes at 2 miles per hour. Then you cool down 5 minutes at 1 miles per hour. 20 minutes of being active. Who likes walking? Just drop a 1 in the chat. If you like walking, drop a 1 in the chat. Now, we're going to pick up the pace on this, okay? Picking up the pace, you're going to advance your program. And so the goal is to boost your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal health now, but not just now, but for years to come. And that's what I love about the program. It's always about years to come, not just now, but what it's really about our future, right? What we can do. So again, look through that. Level 2, resistance program. We got a resistance program. So we're going to kick that in. Again, remember I mentioned about, you think about going to the gym and throwing weights around, huffing and puffing. If you've been to the gym and you hear people just throwing weights around, just drop a 2 in the chat now. You be like, man, what's all that thumping going on? Do, you know? What I'm like, man, what are these people here doing? Is it that serious? All that. No, we're not gonna be doing all that. Okay. Working out is gonna be fun and enjoyable, right? It's gonna be fun and enjoyable. And it's okay if you want to go to the gym as you get into your EAT program, the resistance program, that's okay, because you may want to do that for certain reasons, like personal trainers. Because maybe you're not used to, maybe you want to make sure you have the right form, right? Or you want to make sure you're doing these exercises right. So going to the gym may be good. You may get some tips and tricks there. So, you know, I like to go to the gym just because I just want to go sit in the sauna. That's really the only reason why. I just like the sauna. So looking at that, your resistance program it's put together for you. You're just going to increase. You're stepping up your walking program that you were doing in the NEAT walking, adding 4,000 brisk steps. But now you want to come over. So what kind of equipment are you going to use? I'll tell you one thing. Your body is the best exercise equipment that you have. You are. You don't need all the machinery. Do we function like that? Think about your day-to-day things that you do. And then think about the machines in the gym that people use, those isolated workouts, all of that. Do you really function like that? Is that how you function? We don't function like that, right? You think about taking out the trash, picking up kids, cleaning up, things that you're doing. So you do, the machines are not, you don't need them. That's just the point of the thing. You can use some dumbbells, get your medicine ball, get a little mat, weighted vest, and then you're going to use your body as the main tool. All right. We go down in the EAT resistance program. Dr. A helps us to put together just the two body parts, upper body and lower body. You're going to do 5 and 5. So 5 workouts on 5 different parts of the body. That's my alarm to tell me to eat my lean and green. Excuse me. Now, contractions, you look on page 365. These are how the repetitions go. All right. And this consists of a 5-minute warm-up, 5 repetitions of 5 selected movements, followed by a rotation of 5 different exercises that form the same muscle group, that work the same muscle group, and then 5 minutes of stretching. So don't discount stretching. Page 365, how do we do it? This is where you're going to start at. You're not going to start doing this resistance stuff until you finish and mastered level 1. Please remember that, so don't move ahead. Contraction phase is 8 seconds. So you're coming up, practice that with me. You're coming up 8 seconds. You're counting to 8, counting to 8. You get to 8, you don't want to lock it up, hold it for 4 seconds, and then you go down for 8 seconds. Take your time. You're building lean muscle. We're building, we're not in here, we're not doing that, okay? So listen, I want to give you all an opportunity to share some of the things you've learned. There's a lot of information, even about BCAAs, these amino acids. People think you got to go, okay, I'm working out now, I got to take all these extra supplements. If you're eating right, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that, okay? So these are all beginner things, but you're going to increase these on your own. You'll choose how you want to increase. Maybe you want to, do a 4-second contraction and a 2-second hold, and then a 4-second relaxation as you go down. You'll increase to that. So exercise is good, but it's going to be things you're going to enjoy doing. So you'll pick it based off of that. There are some suggestions in here to help you put together a workout in Element 18. Utilize these books. Please utilize them as part of the 4 components you get. What did you appreciate from Element 18? How is exercise a gift to you, or how can you see how it can be a gift to you? What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear from anyone that would like to share about the elements. Where are you at on your journey? Let's talk. But definitely, if you have something to share about exercise, anything you heard that you found interesting about exercise, let's share it. Yep. And okay, please, James.
All right. Well, I'll start us off. I love. I'm one of the guys that came into this program. I love exercise. I love working out. But I did realize, and I actually do like throwing weights around. So those guys you're talking about be throwing weights around and making all those noises, that's me. But what I did appreciate about this element and what I learned is that not everybody is like that. Not everybody likes going to the gym. Not everybody loves exercise and love working out. And I love the whole topic when you asked, do you view element as as a gift to yourself? And I ask my clients this, and most of the time people say no, because the mindset of exercise is they hate it. I hate exercise. I have to do it. I hate the feeling. But I love how Dr. A in here has us change our mindset when it comes to viewing exercise as a gift. And when we're at a healthy weight, when we're fueling our body correctly, we're hydrating correctly, and we start being more active and start moving and start applying some of these principles and different things in this element Dr. A helps us with in here. And then we find things that we enjoy. So not everybody loves weightlifting, weight training, going to the gym and the squat racks and the bench press and things like that. But it doesn't have to be. It can be walking. It can be resistance training. Like you mentioned, I love the body, working out with your body weight. You brought it out, but Dr. A talks about it so much, is find something that you enjoy, that you love to do, so that when you think and view exercise, you view it as a gift and not something that it's a chore or something I have to do. So I just love the whole mindset shift when it comes to thinking about how we view and think about exercise. So that's why I'm grateful of this element.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, James, for sharing that. Coach Sylvia.
You know what you're talking about. You are not up there talking about an element that is not right in your wheelhouse. In your wheelhouse, you are swimming around in it, and that's why you just nailed it. We appreciate you. You did a great job. I want to give a little tip to your clients that Stan, if you want to know anything about the running and the walking world, you get to tap into him, because he and Denisha are all over that. I mean, she's like professional. If I were to call, were you a professional runner? She's a professional, for real. She gave me a lot of tips on what to do about the value of proper shoes and to go to the store and let them fit you for it and all of that. But if you're just starting off in your journey, don't get intimidated by what's getting ready to happen to you in your optimal health. These things are definitely things to keep in mind, for sure, for your optimal health, and as you're continuing to progress. But at the same time, it doesn't make us think, oh, I get to sit back and not do anything until I lose all my weight. No, Stan definitely emphasized that we need to be doing something every day. And that's you really show the value of things like stretching before we walk. Ask me how I know. Had a shin splint, not a lot of fun, but that's one of the good things about the life book. And Stan brought that out about take a few minutes and learn how to really exercise in the health and where you are right now, and that'll continue to help you to do better as you go along, so that you can go to the gym and throw around weights with James and stuff. Yeah, I'm aiming for that, not really. Thanks, Dan.
I mean, there is, thank you, Sylvia. There is this little thing about just, maybe having a bar up and then you just let it drop to the ground. I get that. I get that. Okay. Let's hear from, let's go, Barbara. Let's go. Bring it on.
Okay, thank you. Well, I appreciate it. I do appreciate exercise. Actually, I was doing that today because for November, I really want to get back out and start walking. I love to walk. That's something I've always done. So before Optavia or anything. I love to walk. And so because of a shoulder injury, I felt this, I felt pain today. I feel pain every day, but I know what to do to try to relieve some of it. So today, while I was watching the broadcast, anybody that's on here, they know what I'm talking about. I said, you know what, let me get up and let me do some stretches. And I have my 5-pound weights. And so I started doing everything to stretch out my arm, not doing too much and just stretching. And it feels really good to my body. I did appreciate the part you brought out about the shoes. And so that's something I have to get into. Actually, me and my brother was talking this morning, and I was mentioning about how my feet is hurt me. And the first thing he asked what kind of tennis shoes I had. They're not cheap tennis shoes, but I need something that's going to fit my feet. So when you brought that out, I've written it down to make sure I go there so I can get that balance to get that. Because I'm like, it's going to be hard to walk if my feet's already hurting. And so and obviously it's probably the way the shoes are fitting me and not having the cushion. So I'm going to check into that tomorrow. Rain or shine, that's something I'll look into so I can get that. So I really appreciate it. And exercise, like I said, makes your body feel good. It's just a little bit, walking around the house. I did a video today for all those that have a Facebook that I'm dancing on one of them, but I've been dancing all day. And I thought, James, I already know, once I started doing my dance, I said, I'm going to videotape this. And it's on one of my reels tonight. So anyway, I just try to keep my body moving. So I appreciate it. That was very good. Thank you, Stanley.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Barbara. Just a quick note, and then we'll call on Carol. Don't just think about your shoes, your clothes matter too. So when you're out there being active, at least for the walking part, you want to wear comfortable, loose fitting clothes, no plastic or rubber things that maintain moisture and all that. Stay away from those. If you're doing it in low light, I want you to wear bright and reflective clothing, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we're going shopping. My wife told me I can't go shopping because I told her I have about another 20 more pounds to lose. So it's like, what's the point of going shopping? But anyway, Carol, please, let's hear from you.
Okay, I started not to make a comment on this one because if anybody knows me, I'm the opposite of everybody else. I do not like exercising and I have to make myself do this. I was listening today to Atomic Habits, the book Atomic Habits. And one thing that I wrote down from that, a bunch of things, but one thing I wrote down was casting a vote for the person you would like to become. Every time you do, you work on your habits of something that you want. My sister's talking loud. Can you hear her?
Oh yeah, it's okay. Tell her we say hello.
So every time that you make a decision that you want to change a habit for the best, then you actually follow through, you're casting a vote for the person you would like to become. So it is true that when you make this decision and you actually follow through, and it was talking about finding a way that you can track and habit trackers. And I appreciate that because you need to have a reward, and this is brought out here. You need to have an instant reward, and that helps you because your brain needs to know that you are seeing something positive from this. And for a person like me who does not enjoy exercise, I need to be able to see that what I'm doing is actually making a difference. So having a calendar is one way that you can do it, and just marking it off and saying today, you actually fulfilled something that you were trying to get done. Maybe 15 minutes of walking, or maybe for me, I'm working on that 10,000 steps. So far, I haven't quite got there, but I'm so close of getting back to 10,000 steps a day. But every day marking it off to say, you got that done. And it also talked about another thing that you could do is maybe a jar on your table that you fill it up with whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So if you're trying to get 10,000 steps, then I don't know, 10,000 staples, I don't know, or paper clips is what it said. I think that's what it said. Then just kind of take one out and put it in another jar until you actually get that other jar filled with 10,000 staplers, or what did I say? Paper clips? Paper clips. There you go. And then you can say, oh my goodness, look at what I did, So that also fits with what's on page 350, 361. The cue, the routine, the instant reward, and the long-term investment is going to be that beautiful, gorgeous, healthy body. So hope that all made sense. I got a little sidetracked with the conversation over there.
Sorry, I know you want to go jump in that conversation, but you talking with
I
us
did. I
first. You
wanted to
spending
know what
time
she
with
was
us. That's all
talking
right.
about.
Thank you, Carol. Hey, thank you for bringing those points out. Very, 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 very nice. Very nice. So, anyone else? Anyone else? There's a nice chart for you on page 367 to start mapping, and you can find that on habitsofhealth.com. So I don't know how many of us are aware of that website, but habitsofhealth.com has a lot of resources for our benefit as well. There's also, so until I see a hand come up, I'm going to just mention one last thing. Level 3, boosting your workouts, and you're going to increase repetition, increase resistance, increase sets or rotation, decrease recovery time, increase speed, maintain muscular contraction. So this is important because we want to make sure when we're doing our workouts and certain things we're doing, we might have the tendency to lock up, but now we're transferring we're putting the pressure on the bone instead of the muscle. So we want to focus. I never knew that. Like, oh, you're supposed to keep it in the muscle, so you have to pay attention. So, I mean, this knowledge that we're gaining is outstanding. Please. Anyone else have anything to share before we turn it back over to James? All right. Don't start doing that. You notice this is element 8. This is element 18. So if you're still in phase 1, it's good to know ahead of time, but don't run and start doing this. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. I started bike riding. I started back bike riding. I was exerting myself. I'd be pushing heart rate up to like 166. And you know what? Those weeks I was doing that, I realized I wasn't having good weeks as far as my weight loss was concerned. So I said, you know what, let me do what I've been doing and just sit myself down somewhere. I'll get to the bike riding later. Anyway, we'll turn it back over to James. I saw Sylvia's hand come up. Did you still have a thought? If you do, there you go. Please share.
That was really it. I was going to share that that's something that Barbara shared with me, and I think we did talk about that. About even when you have an exercise routine before, or if you're just starting out, to be very careful because of your body still adjusting to your new eating habits. And so you'll know, your body tells you, and stay close to your coach so you'll know. But that was exactly the point, Stan, about just making sure that we're modifying what we're doing, especially early on. Thanks.
Excellent. All right, great. Listen, we'll turn it back over to James. Thank you all for your support. Y'all made this go by so quickly. So I'm gonna stop sweating now. Have a good evening. James, please take over.
So good. Thank you, Stan. You guys, can we please throw some love in the chat for Stan? Throw him some 7s just to show our appreciation for him doing such extensive research on this element to bring it alive to us. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Stan. Yeah, amazing element. So kind of as to wrap up, the closing questions that are at the end of every element. And I know a lot of us may not be here in our journey, and that's okay. I love how Stan mentioned and brought out, it's good to put it on the shelf and know what's coming. But if you're still in phase 1 of your program, the weight loss phase, you can talk to your coach if now's the time to start doing some type of exercise and workout. Talk to your coach first. But just some questions to think about is, what does this element give you where you're at in your journey? What does this element mean to you right now? What does this element give you the opportunity to reflect on? And what actions are you going to take as a result of this element? So thank you guys all for being here this week. We'll see you guys all next week. We're going to cover an element I think everyone can benefit from, is how do you create healthy sleep and unlimited energy? So if you're someone that struggle with your sleeping habits, or you're tired, you're low energy, you need that coffee in the middle of the day, and you want to get better improvement in that area of health in your life, then look over that element. We'll see you next week. We'll have a coach that's going to review it, and we love to hear what you got out of it next week. So if you can share that with the group, would be amazing. We'll see you guys all next week. Thank you guys all for being here. And guys, everyone have a great night. Thanks again, Stan.
Good.